What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be reviewing a bag from Alpaca. It's called the Air Sling V2. Comes in the color black. It retails for, well, you can find it on Amazon right now for $147. But I believe this particular model is no longer currently being produced. So you can still find this though on various outlets, used eBay. You can find on eBay used or other places through just trading outlets. So you'll typically, I think you could probably find this for under $100 if you look hard enough. But I believe retail somewhere around $147, $150. All right, let me talk about the external features of this bag. The entire bag is made of a blend of polyester nylon. They call it the Black X Pack. I believe it's some sort of high ballistic nylon, so it's really tough and durable. There's branding on the front of it. It's still, to me, it's subtle. I like it. It's nice. It just says Alpaca right there. And then there is a magnetic enclosure. So to get inside the main compartment, it's a magnetic enclosure here, clip. You just clip that magnetically. There is, on the back side of the bag, there is a strap here, and I believe this strap is just it's used to just hold the bag as a grab handle. There's a shoulder strap, and the shoulder strap is also magnetic. It's got a magnetic buckle. And then finally, I forgot to mention, on the front, there is a small pocket here that has various pockets within it for storage. It's a one single zippered pocket. And then I do want to mention that I didn't mention before, there's a little loop right here. And this is for an extra accessory you can buy. So if you're wearing this and you're riding a bike, or if you're doing a lot of like running or whatever, normally, typically, like if you have a sling bag like this, it's gonna like move around when you're running around. Well, there is an extra attachment you can buy with this. It's like a loop, attaches here, and then it loops around and attaches to the strap itself, and it'll keep the bag from moving around while it's on your body. It keeps it close to the body, prevents it from moving around when you're running or riding your bike, which is really nice. This bag measures 11.42 inches in length and 7.48 inches in height. Now let's go ahead and get into the pockets of the bag. Okay, let's get into the inside of this bag. So I mentioned already that first pocket on the front. This is a small pocket with a couple of little ones for organization. And then the main pocket itself does not have a zipper. It's only protected by the enclosure here. And inside it is just one giant pocket with no other zippers in there. There is a other small pocket in here, or it's actually a sleeve that's fleece lined, and it says that you can fit tablets into this. Has the capacity to fit tablets, but from my experience, you can't fit anything larger. I think you can do, what they mean by a tablet is like an iPad mini, something smaller. Like a regular size iPad or an iPad Pro is definitely not going to fit inside of this bag. And the inside is made of a 200D nylon, ripstop nylon, and it's orange all on the inside. It has a bright orange color. On the back side of the bag, there's an additional zippered pocket here that is waterproof. It's a waterproof zipper, and it's relatively deep. There's other extra organizational pockets within here, and there's also a key attachment here that is removable. So you can put your key on there and then attach this if you'd like to stick your keys on there. That about wraps it up for all the pockets on this bag and the features. Now let's get into the pros and cons. All right, let me talk about the things I didn't like about this bag, or the cons, I would say. The first thing is, because the main compartment of this bag is not zippered, and the only thing that keeps anything from accessing it is this flap. When you're wearing this as a sling, when you swing it over, depending on what you're doing, it is possible for things to fall right out of this, because you'd have to keep the clip pretty tight to make sure the flap doesn't move around, because if you like kind of tilt it too much, things can actually fall out of here. That's one kind of issue that I had with this. The other issue is that the shoulder strap, although it is adjustable, it's not quick adjust. It takes a bit of time to kind of mess around with this to make it fit your body the way you want to. I sort of wish there was like an easier way to adjust this strap, and I think that's about it. And then they do mention that it's anti-theft. It's not something that's not like RFID, where it's going to prevent somebody from scanning your materials in here. At least I don't think it is. What it is it's anti-theft in the sense that this material here is slash proof. No one can come by and just like cut it and steal your stuff from there. So that's the anti-theft part of it. But that is a little confusing if people are expecting this to be RFID theft resistant. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of there's not a lot of cons to this. And then the last con I'd like to bring up is the fact that this bag, for the size of it, and I mean although it's very high quality, it comes in at a retail price of closer to like $150, which I find to be a lot more than I think it's worth. I think that's quite expensive, and this bag shouldn't cost that much. Let me get onto the pros. All right, let me talk about the things I like about this bag. Two big things is that it has the magnetic on and off buckles. These are really convenient, really nice, because you don't have to mess with like a clip trying to unclip it and clip it on, or a zipper. So that's actually kind of a neat feature that I really think is premium. The bag itself is made of premium material. Everything is very high quality. The zippers, I believe, are all YKK. They operate very smoothly, and the bag is just very minimalist and very sleek looking, very modern. The inside is color coded. It's bright orange, making it very easy to identify things when you're looking for something inside of the bag. Things won't blend into it since it has an off color, which I think a lot of manufacturers miss when they make bags. The hidden back pocket is nice for if you want to have more sensitive items like your passport or your wallet. It stays close to your body, and it's hidden in the back. So that's a nice feature of this. And then the fact that it has all these pockets and all the organizational features within it, there's quite a bit of organization in here that you can do if you want to put certain items in here. So yeah, this bag overall is very, very good for somebody who just wants to carry their essentials. Now let's go ahead and move on to a capacity test. All right, let me fill this bag up and show you what it looks like with typical just like daily necessities that I would carry around with me in this bag. So I've got a couple of items here. I've got my wallet. I'll probably stick that in the rear pocket here. Keys with some tools on them. I'll put that here in the front pocket. My AirPod Pros. A couple of cables for charging. Slip that in here. Have a power bank. Put that there. A tripod, a portable tripod. My DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for filming if I need to. Put that in there. Lens cleaner. Put that there. Actually, I'll put that here. Go ahead and zip that up. And a pair of sunglasses. So that's what it looks like when it's filled up to capacity. The shoulder strap is made of a softer material than typical straps, making it comfortable to wear. As you can see, when it's filled to capacity, it is hard for things to just fall out spontaneously. The one thing I did want to mention is that inside the bag itself, there are gussets right here, and that further prevents things from just like randomly spontaneously falling out. But again, if it's empty and you have really smaller items that are loose, they could fall out. Now let's go into my final thoughts. All right, so my final thoughts for this bag. It's a really good bag for the purpose that you're gonna, if you're gonna use it for the purpose that it was made for. So for me, I actually found this to be a bit too small for my liking. I prefer to carry a bit more stuff, and even with the items that I showed with the capacity test, I like to be able to fill all that, but have even more room, not like where it's completely stuffed. The bag is a bit narrow, so for me it's a little small for my taste. But for anyone who just carries, you know, the bare essentials, this is actually a really good bag to have. If you're just gonna be walking around and you just want to carry a couple of little items. It's just me personally, I like a bigger bag. So I think everything on it is high quality. It's alpaca. I have plenty of alpaca bags, and it's rare that I find any faults with any of their alpaca stuff. I think the company is very reputable. They make a good product, and they're up and coming. And I think they're just gonna keep coming out with really cool designs. So I'm gonna give this bag probably around I give this a 7 out of 10. As always, if you found this video to be helpful, then go ahead and hit that like button down below, and please consider subscribing to our channel. See you in our next review.